All right, welcome back, everybody. January 19th, Martin Luther King Day, Mindset Monday edition from my bedroom because I'm working from home. Kids are out of school, and it's just one more day for them to harass my wife. So I'm stepping up and stepping in and recording this episode from my bedroom. This is a coast-to-coast edition. So let's turn over to the East Coast for my main man, Lincoln Long. Take a listen.
Hey there, Lincoln Long here. You know, in the New Living Translation of the word, Hebrews 12:12 says, so take a new grip with your tired hands and strengthen your weak knees. And it makes me think, have you ever been carrying some furniture? Maybe you're moving with somebody and, you know, you're carrying one side, they're carrying the other side, and your back starts to hurt and your hands get sweaty and you're starting to lose your grip, but you're too tough and too prideful to sit down. So you're waiting on them to rest, right? But finally, you know, you have to put that furniture down, and you don't change your destination. You don't change what's going on. You just have to get a new grip and strengthen them hands a little bit to carry on to get to the destination. And so sometimes when we're going through something in our life that God's called us to, it gets difficult and it gets hard and we want to quit. But I'm here to encourage you, just put it down. Take a new grip and then get back to it. You know, I've seen pitchers who are almost obsolete in their career change their grip on a fastball by a few millimeters and on a slider as well, and they picked up some spin. They stayed in the game. They stayed effective. I know for me, when I was in one of the biggest slumps of my baseball career, a guy that knew more about it than me changed my grip just a tiny little bit on the bat, opened up my hands a little bit, and I had access to more power after that than I ever had before. So don't quit whatever you're going through. It could be hard, could be costing you something. It may not be fun. Put it down, dry them hands off, strengthen that grip, and stay after it.
Gosh, there's so much good news in what Lincoln just shared. I mean, even specifically for me today, been going through a tough season of life at home and in our marriage, and have a lot of good days, but a lot of bad days and just tough stuff with kids and parenting and the whole thing. And the idea of just, oh, can't do this anymore. You know, whether it's for your kids or for your spouse, oh, just that lie. I just want to give up. But then there's always the voice of the Holy Spirit saying, no, don't quit, regrip. I was so encouraged. Thank you, Link, for taking the time to record that. And there's two things I took away from that and that I've been meditating on. One is rest takes work. Lincoln brought it up in the moving the furniture example. There's kind of this sense like if we took a break, we rested. We don't want the other person to think we're weak. We don't want people to think we're weak. Resting goes against the grain of our culture that's restless. We're addicted to restlessness. And so when you take a break to rest, to regrip, it's perceived by others as they're just lazy, they're taking a break. That might even be the lie you have in your head. Anytime you slow down, anytime you take some time for personal care, there's a antagonizing voice maybe you picked up growing up that, see, you're lazy, you're good for nothing, here you are being selfish again, get back to work. And obviously we don't want to be all the way on the lazy passivity side, but there's a way of our culture that's so restless we scoff at rest. But the Bible actually teaches us that we need rest, that Christ died for our rest. In Hebrews chapter 4, it says this, let us therefore strive to enter that rest, the rest that Christ purchased for us, so that no one may fall by the same sort of disobedience. He's talking about just neglecting the rest that Christ achieved for us in his finished work, but really resting in it, literally stopping. Because it takes work to rest. I don't know if you caught that part. Strive to enter that rest, the ESV says, or work by all means to enter that rest. It takes work. You're going against the grain of culture. As soon as you slow down to rest, you hear that, oh, and I got to do that. Oh, and I got to do that. You got to rest. Because what happens in that rest and that stopping is you get that coaching from the Lord. Hey, you can't keep doing it like this. hey, you got to adjust your grip. If you're going to go the long haul, it's time for an adjustment. Sometimes it happens through other people, like the coaching example in sports. Sometimes that happens through just being in the Word. But the beauty of having Jesus in our lives is we have our coach in our corner all the time. And when we stop to rest, we realize, okay, I can keep going. And then he says, yeah, but keep going. I want you to regrip like this and go for the long haul, that we don't have to quit. No matter what part of our life it is, relationship, career, he's guiding us. We don't have to quit. We can regrip if we will just take that time to pause and let him coach us up. May that be the mindset we take this week. What do you have to regrip on this week? What do you need to be reminded? It's not time to quit. God's got something for you here. Submit it to him, surrender it to him. Don't quit, regrip. See you next week. God bless you.